Is it really true? Can the Jaguar I-Pace beat the upcoming second generation Tesla Roadster 0 to 60? Well, there's some evidence that it might, and that would be kind of cool and scary at the same time. Also, digital license plates. It looks like it's now a reality. They are on sale here in California. I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's really awesome. I can't wait to get my hands on one. And of course, some Model 3 news. We can't live without it, of course. So we're going to talk about it coming up next.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world, evil in a trick.
Welcome to the show, especially those of you who are watching me live on Patreon. Thank you so much for supporting the show. If you want to watch me live, participate, and most importantly, support the independence of the show, please go to patreon.com/e4electric. Also, if you're watching me on YouTube, welcome. Please consider subscribing so you don't miss anything. And of course, I want to tell you about the upcoming interviews. We just had Michael Persky, the CEO of Automobili Pininfarina, last Saturday. You can see that on the channel. Chad Bolch is coming up with Chevy. We're going to talk about Chevy Bolt and other cool stuff, of course. And then Patrick George, the controversial editor-in-chief of Jalopnik.com. We're going to have an awesome conversation as well. And I got a few other ones planned that I think you're going to enjoy. All right, let's talk about the Jaguar I-Pace. Now, this is a car that I'm really excited about. It's coming up at the end of the year. It's got very decent over 200-mile range. Looks pretty good. Waymo already ordered like 20,000 of them. So, I mean, this is going to be a big deal. But now, in an interview, one of their executives, in an interview to one of the online magazines, actually mentioned that they might be working on like a performance version that can go 0 to 60 in 1.8 seconds. And he kind of mentioned that in an interview as a quote. Now that's kind of cool and scary at the same time, right? First of all, it's an SUV. So going, faster than the Roadster, it's kind of insane. As a matter of fact, they're basically questioning whether or not people even want it or going to be using it. If you've ever even been a P100D Tesla Model S or Model X, and you've used the ludicrous mode, you probably know that you end up in a really tough physical sort of strain, and really your heart goes all the way to your feet sometimes. And that's not something that people are really probably going to be using very often, at least not many people. So yes, it's a pretty good question whether or not people are going to enjoy it. But nevertheless, it looks like they might be coming up with a version that will feature this. And of course, that would be absolutely amazing that the SUV can go faster than the Roadster. The Roadster was already amazing at, 1.9 seconds. I know Elon mentioned that it might just be better than 1.9, and I believe him. But still, even regardless of that, this would be pretty cool news and pretty cool car to have. I am definitely thinking about getting one. We'll see what happens with this one. All right, before I go to the digital license plates news, let me just remind you that this show and this channel is sponsored by Avanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla. There's a discount code in the description of this video. Please feel free to grab it and save yourself a few bucks if you shop there. All right, let's move on to this cool thing. Now, this is a digital license plate, and they are on sale right now. The only company that's licensed and registered to sell these is a Reviver Auto, and they are selling them about $700. It looks like it's a little more expensive than a lot of us might think of what a license plate would cost, but it's got some pretty cool features. First of all, obviously, this is something where you can, when you pay registration, you don't have to wait for the stickers to be mailed and then having to go and put it on, which apparently takes 2 months for most of us. It will just pop in right, because it's digital, it will just update it on your plate. If the car is stolen, it will say stolen. It will be easier to identify those cars. If you want to display messages or even Amber Alerts here for missing children here in California, that would be displayed there, or any type of even business related or welcome or personalized message. It is all possible. You can personalize the license plate. You don't have to get another one. It will just kind of get in there as well. And if you want to set a geofence for your 17-year-old, driver in your family, and you'll be the first one to know when the car is on its way to Vegas, for example. So all of those features are pretty cool. And it is now available in California. I'm hoping to get my hands on one and check it out for myself and have a quick review. It's got some anti-theft mechanisms. So really good product. They're in a pilot right now. There's I think there's only 200 of them on the road right now in California. By the way, it can switch color, right? It could be black on white and white on black. They're using kind of a Kindle, you know, one of those book readers technology there, so you can see it without the reflection in the sunny weather with a glare and stuff like that. So it's really, really cool. As you can see, they're just kind of demoing some of the cool stuff that they can do with it. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to maybe having one myself sometime soon. Okay, let's move on to another cool car that I'm looking forward to is Hyundai Kona. Now it's coming up later this year. I believe it's already in production actually, and I guess they just came up with the pricing for Norway. They're targeting Norway as one of the first countries to deliver this car to. Kind of understandable, right? Over 50% of that car's new sales are electric powertrain, either plug-in hybrids or fully electric cars. Very impressive for the country that's that cold, of course. And the pricing looks like it's, if you convert everything to American dollars, it's around 40,000 American dollars. Which is a little bit harder than I thought, but that's for the bigger battery that they're promising, about 250-mile range. For a smaller battery that I think is going to be 40 kilowatt hour, that's going to be about 170-mile range. I believe the price is still expected to be under 35,000. Of course, if you live somewhere where there are incentives and tax credits and so forth, here in California, you can get sort of a beginner, the standard version of this car for, after all said and done, just $25,000. So that's pretty impressive. Now, also don't forget Kia Niro EV is coming up also later this year, kind of a sister company and sister car really. And this car, it's already in production as a plug-in hybrid. So it's nothing new for Hyundai here. They've been making most of this car for all of this time, so I'm assuming some of the bugs have already been worked out, and of course they have service centers and so forth, and their mechanics already kind of know how to deal with this particular car. So that's pretty cool, impressive, and I'm looking forward to it. I believe that this car in a Kia Niro EV could be a game changer. This could be the mass production car that everyone's been talking about, and looks like it's going to come even before the Model 3 is going to be produced at $35,000 price tag. And of course, speaking of Model 3, and by the way, no Elon tweets to talk about, no crashes to talk about. Everyone's happy. All right, so they're definitely making a big push for Canada. You know, Tesla Twitter account also tweeted that they're making a big push. I think a few other outlets reported that a couple of months ago they've opened up configurations for a lot of Canadian reservation holders, and now they're delivering them. Of course, it looks like they're trying to deliver as many now Model 3s outside of United States, which just means Canada for now, so they don't cross the 200,000 cars sold in the United States until the end of June, right? One more month. If they don't cross their 200,000 mark, that means that the incentive, the federal tax credit, will stay for an extra 3 months, which is like a lot of money and a lot of cars being sold at this heavy discount. I'm kind of waiting for that as well. I'm hoping I'm still going to be in that window of $35,000 car with a $7,500 tax incentive credit that I can use. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, congratulations to all of those of you guys who are getting this car in Canada in the next month or two. So that should be pretty exciting. By the way, I'm not going to do a comment of the day today, but thank you to all of those of you, and I had a lot this time, that actually finally liked my video about Elon Musk tweets and Tesla crashes. I believe I'm still like one of the few, if not the only person, a channel that covered both Tesla crashes this week. And I think that's just how it should go anyway. So thank you for those of you for your awesome comments in the comment section. I always look forward to those. All right, as for me, this is it for today. I will see you once again tomorrow at 11 a.m. live Pacific time on Patreon, and after that later in the day on YouTube. See you guys tomorrow, and remember to stay charged.